But touch on the first thing you mentioned, Tex, law-abiding citizens and why them. The bottom line is Donald John Trump. That's exactly what happened. He decided that he came to office on this immigrants are terrible. We have to get rid of all these black and brown people. We're going to deport everybody who is here, either illegally or in a where the status isn't final, because we want this lily white country because we want to make America great again with bare white people. And so there are all kinds of things they changed with the immigration process, the asylum process. And so that was just another of the things that they did. And that mashed up people's lives, but they don't care. Right? So this is one couple that we know about because, they're Jamaican and we hear about it. But there are many cases where that happened. And that couple gone back to, Honduras or Nicaragua or whatever, and we don't hear anything about them. So that's happened a lot. And those things don't really even get coverage. But it's, who is the president of this country really, really matters. There's some things that Congress controls, but there are a lot of things that the president can do all to him or herself. And that is one area where he decided we are going to make a stance on immigration, asylum, all these things. So that's basically what happened. You don't have to be a criminal. For the Obama's administration, they decided we're going to emphasize people who are criminals. If you're here illegally and you have a criminal record, we will focus on deportation of those people. But Trump didn't have just say, look, if you are here, and you are not even the permanent residents who's trying to go after the green card holders, or people coming on work visas, all aspects of immigration he wanted to get rid of. You know what I mean? So that's the bottom line. It's Donald Trump is the answer to why these people, which is nonsense.
So I'm tired of talking about Trump.
Especially?
Yeah. I'm tired of talking about Trump, man. I want to talk about Trump consume enough of his time and life and livelihood over the last 4 years. But it's like instead of we discuss it Trump, like what him do, what we need to do if we go around, what him try to do. What him done anyway, so it don't really matter. But
yeah,
I mean, like one thing that I want, like somebody to display to the people them who agree with Trump, there need to be a platform to display them and what all they did during this time period. Like all the Mitch McConnell them, better about the younger version of him. 20 years from now, one play, hey boy. Remember say, yo, did I do very, old Donald? But me not forget about it. Which part that day? Everybody just think some like a short memory thing, You think about the longevity of it, because what him do, like, affect enough of it for a very long time.
Yeah. Yes. I really don't like talking about Trump either. Especially, but the thing is, just because of what we were talking about.
No.
Yeah, man.
I was just saying, I'm tired of hearing about him. that me I say.
Yeah. I mean, it's just when we think about it's a direct consequence, like in really mash up a lot of people's lives, right? So when we're talking about this is a case where their life didn't get mashed up. They did not get deported. They hung on for 2 years, and it all worked out. That's not the case for everybody. There are thousands and thousands of people whose lives mash up because of this man. And it's not just him. It's Mitch McConnell and all of them. But because a lot of these people is a game, right?
That's all it is. It's only a game.
Yeah, it's a game.
So like one thing we need to understand. Like I'm my first time I vote now. I didn't vote for Obama. I don't voting people. You understand what I say? Chris, stop it nice, because you know we're going a long time. Go on, man, go on. But for Donald Trump now, to get a person like myself to go vote was a good thing, because you expose some racist people. If you're a first time to go vote, what's a good vote for Trump? I look upon I look upon some people different. Cause for them first time figure what was for Trump. You finally decide that you want to vote just because of Trump. All right, then. May I put you up on the list? Go back. Yeah, man. Real talk.
But yeah,
you know.
And you know what? This thing is not only is it bigger than Trump, it's bigger than the United States. This has been a global phenomenon with this immigrant backlash and white-dominated countries wanted to get rid of black and brown people from their countries. In the UK, and this is a longer discussion, but I don't know if you've heard about the Windrush scandal. But basically, you have these Caribbean people. There's a ship, that sailed to the UK, and they're like, for it is the Empire Windrush. And so like a lot of our, parents and uncles and whatever, they went, with all the hundreds of people who have lived in England, they came to England after World War II to rebuild. And so they've been living in England for decades and have children, and their children have children. Now, about 10 years ago, they decide that they're going to crack down on people who don't have proper immigration papers. A lot of those people, when they came there, they didn't have proper immigration papers. So now, 30 years after the fact, they want to come and deal with them and say, you need to provide papers or we're going to deport you. So some 70, 80-year-old people who've lived in England for 40, 50 years, who then now decide we're going to deport you. And all of that comes from the same place. We, as these, rural white people who have had our country a certain way, we're tired of seeing these Jamaicans and Somalians and, Nigerians coming and taking our good jobs and what have you. So their backlash comes up from that. So that same attitude that is here with Trump and his people, this is a global thing. It's happening all over the world. You know what I mean? So it's something to be really aware. But the Windrush thing is something that we're going to cover on here in more detail.
It is important to point out, though, that it is happening all over the world, but it is a minority. And the media make it look like say it's bigger than it actually is. It is a minority. It's a growing minority, but it is a minority. And a majority of people on the earth. Different.
Yeah, right. So I would say in total number, yes, it may be a minority. However, it depends on do those minority get to control power, which is what happened here. Yes, I don't believe the majority of Americans feel that way, but it was enough of them, and with the way this political system set up, the electoral college and all that, where they were able to get into power. And so now when you have this minority in power, you can implement laws like cancel this asylum, and we're going to deport these people and what have you. So although it's a minority, you have to keep that minority out of power. Bottom line, you know what I mean? So it's something to be really, really conscious of. Special? Yeah, drop asleep. What you say?
No, sir. I mean, a long time, people will feel privileged, no want nobody will not look like them and not act like them about the place. I don't know, and you're not gonna stop. You're not gonna stop, You think because they tolerate you, they like you. They don't like you same way. Right?
Yo.
Them not like them when I like them.
Chris, I have I want you to picture something. I work with a brother, right? It's the same about three more shades blacker than me. See? Umber black.
Midnight black.
And you see in front of him how that. What I think you have in front of him how that.
Black like your cap.
Blacker than my cap. In black then shine. Black there. But why have on the front ain't hot.
Make America great again.
Where he's from?
Confederate flag.
Wow.
So to a man like that, what would you say to a man? Every time you see Martin sitting back to money, what would you do? What would you say to a man like that?
Ignorance.
So him know what? Him know what it is?
I mean, man sound like them, brother.
Eh?
man sound like them.
You mean with the neck red?
Virgin, you see why it's something?
The neck red.
You think why it's is it thing why I have the country?
Yeah.
It's a country redneck. That's so it's,
wow.
That brother that thinking
Him
white.
You don't have to be white to be a redneck.
Yeah, I wonder thinking white though, because
you know what?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? So we must have this discussion one different day, guys. Even the word redneck, where the word come from?
and them call themselves that still we call them that.
No, that's a problem. No.
Probably not from a good place.
No,
No.
of course not. But
All right, let me give you a small education. Just like how them talk about this pants sagging thing come from jail.
Prison and
That
whatever.
no come from no jail. Back in the days, wearing a suspender was a sign of what? Dignitaries, right?
Right.
So you should put the wire around your waist. A black man make belt, you know. A black man invent belt, you know, cause white man they want if you look like somebody with them suspenders, brother. A son, you see a tie rope on their waist and so them pants sag a little bit. So this is that come from big woman thing. No, listen
So
to this now.
our redneck come in now.
See redneck, a prisoner. You have prisoners that work on the inside of prison, cook on them something there and clean and area. You have some work out that do a dig ditch and work on train and something there. When they call some redneck, and they man them out of
They call them neck red.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
The term redneck, the term redneck is from that. So when you think about
I want to sunburn them.
So in all actuality, you know, and I really when sunburn them, you know, the sun used to burn them and they used to give them red rags to put over their neck. Then neck never used to just actually turn red.
But the neck red up too.
A white man tell me them. So a white man tell me the second one, a whole black man tell me the first one. So no fighting about it. I mean this is a whole like we got one whole different journey, but one of them day I have to discuss them things because even the term redneck, I mean even if like we call man them redneck. Trust me.
I would never call it. That couldn't be. I hear some of them call each other that, but it's probably something where them can call each other that, but you shouldn't really call them that.
But then no business, me have some bread that make say like some bread, you know. When I go to Alabama, me have family in Alabama, you know. We can go over their yard, right? And then picnic and leave. Well, last week, me and Michelle up Hillside Lake, Texas. My friend here did we play golf on the golf course and thing and rotate, blah blah blah. You understand me? I say. I'm go up and yard, him son leave. I'm sleeping in his son bed with my wife. You understand? Me have family like that, brother. You understand? So one time, when I talk about them, the people that me know a little bit, because them go deep with me. Yeah.
Man, I was driving to West Airport today, and there's a place, Redneck Country Club, I think I saw. What was the name of it? I just saw that today.
Yeah.
I never seen it before today. I was like, the hell is that? But hey, if that's what them call it, if they consider it.
Get back on subject now, because we're going on one political journey.
Anyway,